What's up, fellas? Welcome to Front Row Dads podcast. If you are new here, welcome. I'm your host, Jon Vroman, and this is our solo show for the week. And this is going to be on the shorter side of our solo shows. I've been trying to keep them brief, but they've been running a little long. So I promise you today is going to be shorter because I'm about to head to the gym. I've got an appointment there with somebody, a fellow front row dad, in fact, to get our daily sweat in. And so I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you. You know, Tuesdays are our longer shows. Those are our interviews, but this is an opportunity for me to share with you a little bit about what's going on inside the brotherhood. And sometimes I'll share some things going on inside my personal life, places where I'm winning and resources I'm finding, books I'm reading, big ideas, and then also places where I'm struggling. I might be asking you for help. So anyway, this is our solo show for the week. The first thing I wanted to talk about very quickly today was I just wanted to give some love and some recognition to my very good friend and fellow front row dad and hero to many, Mr. Hal Elrod, the miracle morning man. And I wanted to recognize Hal because first of all, I want to recognize him for his birthday, turning 40 today. And when I was sitting down this morning to reflect on my relationship with Hal and thinking about the many great memories and moments that we've shared together, I couldn't help but think about Front Row Dads, because since we launched Front Row Dads, Hal has been a big part of this movement and this conversation amongst men. And something I love about Hal is that when he believes in something, he wants everybody to know about it. And not because he's tied in as an affiliate or he's getting a commission on any of it. And I've watched this for years, that he has this ability to share things with other people with such great enthusiasm. In fact, this last week, we had two individuals, amazing ladies, Yoko and Svetlana, who came into Austin and spent a day with Hal and I. It was actually at Best Year Ever Blueprint, which is a live event hosted by Jon Berghoff and Hal Elrod. Every December, we have this event, 400 people. And in partnership with Front Row Foundation, we have our annual celebration during this live event. Well, anyway, we auctioned off a bunch of stuff to support the charity. And one of the things we auctioned off was a day in Austin. And these two women won this auction item and came down and spent the day. And why am I telling you all this? Because I watched Hal share with both of these ladies some things that he's been learning in life, some exciting stuff in his world. And he's sharing it with such great enthusiasm. And I watched him actually share the same story 24 hours before. And then later he shares it again with the same enthusiasm. Like the person he's talking to is the only person in the world. And it's the first and only time he'll ever be able to share it. And I just had so much admiration and respect, because I've also watched him do that with Front Row Dads. I've watched him reach out to men and say, Front Row Dads is the best group. You have to join. This is amazing. It is like, of all the events I go to through the course of the year, this is the most important one that I attend. And what I love is that I don't think Hal's doing it just because he's my friend. I think he's doing it because, in fact, I know he's doing it because he really values it. In fact, one thing that people will tell you about Hal is he's totally transparent. He just says what's on his mind. And I shared that with you guys because of a couple things. Number one is, think about in your world, how transparent are you being, right? How open and honest are you being? Not only was this the topic of the podcast interview from 2 days ago with Dr. Laura Dabney, where we talked about being open and honest. This came up in a conversation with my good friend David Osborne, where he talked about transparency leads to transformation, right? And that not only is it the conversations we're having with our kids, the conversations we're having with our wives, the conversations we're having with our brothers, with people in this brotherhood. And I just think about somebody that does that exceptionally well. And I thought of Hal, and I wanted to bring that to light. I wanted to celebrate his life, but I also wanted to challenge all of you to take a look at your world and say, do you share openly with people what you love? I think about marketing is inclusion. When we believe in something, we want to get it out to the world because we want to include people in that. So, think about that as it relates to your business and your family and all areas of your life, and just ask yourself, are you holding back sometimes? I've caught myself holding back, telling people about what I care about, not taking a stand for the people, places, thoughts, and things that I want to amplify in the world, and not living boldly and courageously. And anyway, I just wanted to bring that up as just a thought for you all, and in a way of recognizing my good buddy Hal for turning 40 today. So happy birthday, buddy, if you're out there listening. Hopefully you're just out celebrating with your family, doing the things that you love and enjoying the day. And yeah, guys, that's it. I'll also, the second part of this solo show here was about something that happened to me this past week that I wanted to share, which is recognizing that the school year is coming to an end. And I was talking with my son Tiger about this past year. I drove Tiger to school every single day of the year. And it was this 20 minutes in the car every day that was so valuable, so cool, so amazing. We were listening to books and having great conversations. And I thought to myself, gosh, when school's over, I'm really going to miss that time. And I almost threw in the towel and was like, well, we're going to have to figure out something else, but I guess we're just not going to have that one-to-one time. And then it hit me this morning on the way to school. I said to Tiger, I said, buddy, I love this time together. I love listening to books with you and having this time to talk. I said, what could we do to keep that alive? And he said, well, we could just get in the car and just drive to school, but not go to school and then just drive back home. And I thought, as crazy as that might sound right away, I thought, that sounds actually really cool. What if we got in the car, drove to a park every day and did a walk together? What if we had one-to-one time every day over the course of the summer, just like we would when I was driving him to school? And so we committed in that moment to do that every morning he and I would get one-to-one time for a half hour every single day. And, I just want to tell you that I'm so fired up about this. I'm sharing it with you for a level of accountability also. Like, I want you to hold me accountable, to check in with me on that. I would like to come back to you and tell you how that's going. That's a big commitment of time, but yet, of course it is, right? He is so important to me. Why wouldn't I pour into him? Why would I, if those are my best hours during the day or whatever, why would I give those to my work? Why wouldn't I give them to my kids, right? That's if they're prime hours, they should go to my family. That's my belief, right? Now, I know not everybody can do that. You have positions or perhaps jobs where you can't do that as easily as I can, being an entrepreneur working from my house. But, maybe ask yourself, what is possible for you? Where can you get that one-to-one time with your kids? And, really take a look at your schedule and ask, how much time are you getting with your kids? I was on this hike with my good friends, Kelly Gilson and Justin Graham in California, hiking Torrey Pines outside of San Diego. And Justin was sharing how he tracks how much time he spends in certain categories of his life, including family time. He tracks literally the time that he invests. And he's, he wants to monitor metrics in his business. Why wouldn't he want to monitor metrics at home? So it gets me thinking, like, how much one-to-one time are you getting with your kids, both daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? It makes me think about my good friend Jim Shields, who wrote the book, The Family Board Meeting. Awesome concept, quarterly meetings, 4 hours, one-to-one, no technology, and a debrief at the end. People love his book, man. If you haven't read that book, check it out. It's short, it's 100 pages. It's awesome. It's a great idea for everybody to follow, this family board meeting idea. And I won't spoil too much of it, but I'm giving you the basics there that, it's one-to-one time every quarter. It's like, why are we having board meetings with our colleagues and not with our kids? Why are we not having this intimate connection time with our children where we can learn about them, they can learn about us, where we can tell them stories about our childhood and read books together, learn about, other people's lives. And there's so much that we can do with this one-to-one time, but it's critical and it's important. And you guys have probably heard on recent podcasts me talking about the trip I took to Rapid City, South Dakota with my 9-year-old, 5 days on the road. It was 2 keynote speeches and he just participated in the whole thing and it was awesome. So it just got me thinking about, we should have daily traditions, weekly traditions, monthly traditions, quarterly traditions, yearly traditions, whatever they are, no matter how small they are. If they're intentional and they're well designed, they can make all the difference in your family, right? But if we're going to give one-to-one time for clients, if we're going to give one-to-one time to, other people, why not our precious children, right? Why not our family? So I'm going to share that with you guys, just something to think about. It's going to, like I said, today was going to be a shorter show, just a few thoughts, things to ponder, things to consider, and appreciate you guys being part of this movement, part of this brotherhood. It is so important that we take care of our families if we want to take care of the future for our communities and for the rest of the world. We need to, it all starts at home. It all starts with your kids. That is where we need to be pouring in the best of ourselves, not the rest of ourselves. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll catch you on next week's interviews. Have a great one. Take care. Join the conversation at frontrowdads.com/Facebook, and make sure to put your name and email in at frontrowdads.com so when we open up membership around Father's Day, you can jump in and join our monthly calls and our small groups, which we call bands, and even joining some of our live retreats. That's it, boys. Take care. Have a great one. Be well.